Hi guys, welcome back. Today I'm going to talk to you about what bounce is. I think it's a term that gets thrown around a lot in the golf industry and I don't think everyone entirely knows what bounce is. So today I'm going to explain what it is and how it might help you and your game. If you're new to the channel, do hit that subscribe button down below, and whilst you're there, hit the little bell icon and you'll get alerted to any new video I post. Let's get started. So bounce is probably a word that you've heard before but don't quite understand. We refer to bounce when we're talking about the golf club, and specifically when we talk around the sole of the golf club. So every golf club does have a certain amount of bounce on it, and we measure that bounce in degrees. The higher the degree of bounce, the more bounce that golf club has. So if we pop this golf club on a completely flat surface, you'll see that leading edge doesn't sit flat on that surface with it, but the sole of the club does. So basically the degree of the bounce is the angle between the sole of the club and the leading edge. So that gap between the leading edge and the surface, that's the degree of bounce that is on that golf club. So when we open up the golf club, if we want to add more loft, you can see how much that adds bounce to the golf club. Likewise, if you de-loft the golf club, you'll see how that leading edge gets closer to the floor, so we get less bounce. What we want to try and do is, if we can, is keep that golf club nice and square, and the amount of bounce that's been designed into that golf club will stay the same. So when we open up the club or de-loft the club, the amount of bounce on that club effectively changes. Most manufacturers will now design grind into the sole of the club, where they deliberately grinded away some of the material of the sole to allow the club to be more versatile when you start to open or close the club face. So some have grinds that are very straight, so they've got like a straight edge to the grind. Some have more of a curved grind, so when you want to open or close the face, when you rock that club back onto the back edge of the sole, it won't then lift the leading edge so far up into the air, so we don't get as much bounce. Some wedges will have high bounce, some will have low bounces. Most people that we come across will just need a standard amount of bounce and a standard grind. If you're someone that tends to swing steeply into the back of the ball, that is going to require probably more bounce designed into the golf club to stop the club digging into the turf too much. Likewise, if you're someone that sweeps the ball a little bit more or comes in a lot shallower to the ball, you're not going to need the same amount of bounce because you're not digging that club into the turf. You can get away with a lot less bounce. The other factor that can change how much bounce that you need can be where you're playing, so the course you're playing. So if you're someone that plays around a links course, that typically means you're going to be playing off tight lies, closely mown areas. You don't want a high bounce wedge that's going to bounce off that firm ground. What you're going to want is something with a lot lower bounce, so that when you hit the shot, the club can get down to the ball and it's not going to bounce off that hard surface. The opposite is also the same. So if you're someone that plays on a softer, lusher parkland golf course, maybe someone that has more rain, you're going to want something typically with a bit higher bounce because that club's going to be able to dig in much more easily to that turf. So playing a higher bounce stops it digging in too much, and it again helps you with your strike. So next time you're at the golf club, pop into the pro shop and ask your pro whether the wedges you have are suitable for you and suitable for the course you tend to play. So that's it guys, that's my very basic guide to what bounce is and how it might help you. So if you did enjoy this video and you found it helpful, do give it a thumbs up down below. And likewise, if you haven't subscribed already to the channel, hit that subscribe button and hit the little bell icon next to it, and you'll be alerted to all the new videos I post. Stay safe, and I'll see you soon. So we refer to bounce. Manufacturers have their different, it will show you so some wedges will have, and most wedges, but most people that we come against, to stop the club digging in too much to stop the club digging too much